You know what's cool? Video games. You know what's cooler than video games? Free video games. Cheap video games, free video games. I'm a man who doesn't like to spend money, so I like to find free video games. And when Guardian's Tales reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to do a sponsored video, which I said, yes, you're watching the sponsored video on Guardian's Tales right now. I was interested in this game. I like the aesthetic of it. It was something that I'd been keeping my eye on. It's a game that was originally released on mobile devices that had really high review scores, and now it is available on your Nintendo Switch as of October 3rd, and I didn't realize it was a free game. So I was like, okay, let's check out this game. What is Guardian Tales? Because to me, there's a lot of Link to the Past vibes with this, a lot of Legend of Zelda sort of aesthetic when it comes to the graphics of the game. What is the game all about and how does the game play? And I can make like a 30+ minute video on this game because there's so much stuff to do in this game. There's so much content in the game, and I keep having to remind myself, this is a free game. I've spent $0 on this game thus far, and I have gotten so many hours of gameplay. I've had so much stuff to do. I'm still unlocking things within the game, so let's just sort of jump right into it. Now, the meat and potatoes of your game is, of course, a sort of single-player experience that has a deep story that's surprisingly deep. And basically, you're a knight who is a new recruit in the Canterbury Kingdom's Royal Guard. Some stuff happens, you graduate, but then the invaders come in and want to take over the world, this, that, and the other, thus kickstarts our game. Now, on the surface level, that seems just like a basic story, but what I found really cool about this game and very interesting is just how many individual stories you come across within these levels. And some of them are, self-contained, some of them, extend into the overall story of the game, but I found that to be really cool. I found that to be a really fun sort of thing because it kept things fresh. It kept things interesting throughout. Now, it doesn't have an open world sort of style to it. Basically, the levels are broken up into segments. You have different segments that you could go into the levels, and you're basically trying to clear the level, do whatever you have to do within the level in order to unlock the next level. As you sort of explore these areas that you're in, you'll actually find sort of sub-quests that you'll have to do that will also unlock different areas on the map. So there's a bunch of stuff there. The levels themselves aren't very long, but there is the reason to explore to find sort of these sub-levels and find all the different unlocks that are within the levels. As you play throughout the game, you start to amass people on your team. So you end up with this big squad of people, and you come across so many different people that you can constantly have fresh people come in that have a better gameplay style that sort of suits your needs. Now, as far as the combat is concerned in the game, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of weapons. There's ranged weapons. There's close weapons. There's magic. There's this, that, and the other. And you're constantly upgrading your weapons through basically synthesizing the weapons. You get weapons that are drops within the level. If you have a weapon that you like, you can constantly level up this weapon by basically synthesizing the other weapons that you're not using and making your weapon stronger. Of course, there are different charms that you equip on your characters as well. There's summons attacks. As you get deeper into the game and your squad gets bigger, you get these summons attacks, and you can have these super big attacks that have to, have a little bit of a cooldown meter, but you basically coincide with your teammates as you're playing through it, and it's just like, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on here. The writing in the game is actually pretty funny because there's lots of pop culture references to not only The Legend of Zelda, which is, sort of a focal point of some of the humor in the game, but there's like a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reference in the game, and I was like, this is kind of cool. I like it. Beyond just the basic combat in the game, there's some light puzzle solving. You end up getting different abilities that allow you to go and play previously played levels and sort of find more areas in them, whether you're throwing rocks, setting things on fire, blowing up bombs. You actually get a hook shot later in the game that helps you traverse areas, because you'll see areas within these levels that you play that you're like, okay, well, I'd like to access that, but I can't right now. So you'll want to go back and replay levels. You also unlock like nightmare mode for these levels as well. And I just thought it was going to be like extended difficulty. It actually has new story elements in this as well. Like, there's so much stuff within this game. There's so many different types of gameplay that you encounter as well. There's like puzzle mechanics, there's some stealth mechanics, there's even like a little touch of shoot 'em up mechanics that you kind of come across, and it's like, wow, there's a lot of stuff within this game. And that's just one of the game modes, because this game actually has a ton of different game modes. Beyond that, you kind of have this little village that you end up building up, and as you acquire different heroes and come across different heroes within the world, they all sort of live within this village. So you're having to kind of upgrade things and make things, food, and have drinks and have entertainment and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Theme Park, but I like that. I like the micromanaging sort of stuff because I'm a fan of games like Theme Park. I'm a fan of things like that. So I thought that was a nice little touch to it. There's also a whole bunch of other stuff within the game. You have guilds where you can create your own guild. I have the RGT85 official guild, and eventually you'll be able to do guild raids with your fellow guildmates. You can hang out with them in there. There's multiplayer, there's PvP stuff, there's players versus environment stuff where like big boss battles where you team up together, where you're teaming up and battling like these big bosses. There's special dungeons that allow you to increase certain stats, or if you need gold or something like that, you can get gold from doing these things. If you need different sorts of XP and you want to increase your XP level, you could do these different dungeons to do that. Like, the game never gets boring. There's just so much stuff to do within it, and if the gameplay hook kind of latches you and, you know, hooks you in and draws you into it, it's very easy to end up playing this game for hours and hours and hours. The levels are designed to be kind of bite-sized little areas. Like, you'll never spend more than, you know, maybe a maximum of 10 minutes on a level. Sometimes it's a lot less than that. Sometimes it can be a little bit more. But what draws you in is how you just constantly unlock stuff and your characters evolve, and you get summons characters that you can customize as well. There's just so much stuff within the game, and the game itself plays really well. Like I said, the combat is really fun. There's definitely a level of strategy to it. If you just kind of go in willy-nilly and just, you know, mash the attack button, you're not really going to do all that much. You have to avoid enemy attacks. You have to make sure that your teammates that you end up linking up with have the abilities that you want them to have, such as like a healer, so if you get in trouble or something like that. And of course, the synchronization attacks are based on the different characters that you equip within your party, and you can have basic and more synchronized attacks by having better people within your party. I think the graphics of the game look really nice. Like I said, it has that Legend of Zelda style to it, but each individual world that you end up visiting has its own sort of charm to it. You know, there's a desert world, there's the forest world, the magician world is actually really cool and really well done. Kind of has like a spooky Harry Potter vibe to it. The music in the game is very charming. The sound effects are good. The voice samples that are in the game are good. There's cutscenes with full animation and stuff like that. Like, it definitely doesn't feel like a free-to-play mobile game, which at its core, it actually is, because it's been available on mobile devices for quite a long time. Now, as far as maybe what I would like to see improved within the game, there are a few things. I think the main thing for a lot of people that you have to know going into this is that it does require an online connection to play this game. So if you don't have an online connection, you'll not be able to play this game. And I know most of us play our Switch at home, so it's not that big of a deal. But, you know, even the single player stuff, you have to have that online connection because it's tied in with your rewards. So I feel like that'll be a little bit of a detriment to some people. I do wish there was touchscreen controls within the game. Everything you have to use the cursor. I feel like having the touchscreen on the Nintendo Switch would kind of lend itself to it. And I think one of the main things is it's a very overwhelming game. It's a game that, you know, it throws a lot at you and it's digestible, but sometimes you can just be like, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Did I miss something? So you kind of got to do a little bit of research when you're playing this game. But overall, like, I'll be honest, I've played this game way more than I thought I was going to. I really like the bite-sized levels. I really like the customization. I really like all the different sorts of battle types and all the weapons and all the stuff that you're constantly unlocking. The rift dungeons and the labyrinth dungeons are fun because they're sort of different than what you just played. Going back and replaying levels to get all of the secrets within them or find secrets that you might have missed on the first playthrough. Being able to replay the areas with the nightmare mode, and then now it has all this different story elements to it that you didn't expect there to be. It's just, it's a crazy game. It's a crazy game just how much stuff is going on within it. But like I said, this is Guardian Tales for the Nintendo Switch. If you like sort of a Link to the Past style games, if you've ever wanted to play a fast version of a Link to the Past, like, I think this game will definitely scratch your itch. And like I said, since this game is new to the Nintendo Switch, there's a bunch of launch rewards that you could get by downloading the game with the link in the description box down below. You get 100 free summons, a special character named Oba, 3,000 free gems, 100,000 golds, a knight costume named Rose Knight, and 3-star equipment known as a fantasy sword, whether you want to use that sword or synthesize it into something else. So if you're looking for a game that's a lot of fun to play, definitely a pick up and play mentality, but if you want to go deeper within it and you want to explore all the different avenues within it, I think Guardian Tales is a great game to check out. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of polish to it. Yes, At its core, it's a mobile game, but if mobile games all had controllers, like, I probably wouldn't be so against mobile games like I am. That's why I enjoy when mobile games come to the Switch, because I can actually play them, because my cell phone is not made for video games. It's for texting women and possibly getting rejected. So let me know in the comment section down below if you have checked out Guardian Tales either on mobile, or if you plan on picking it up on the Nintendo Switch. Like I said, it's free, so I mean, at the absolute worst, you download the game, you're like, okay, this isn't for me, and then you move on. You spent no money. I spent no money in this game whatsoever, and I don't ever see myself spending money. I'm not big into cosmetics. I'm here for the gameplay. There is a link in the description box down below, so make sure you click that to download your copy of Guardian Tales for the Nintendo Switch. A huge thank you to Guardian Tales for sponsoring today's video, and like I said, guys, let me know your feedback in the comment section down below. If you pick up the game, join the RGT85 official guild, and we only have like 3 people in there. You can have up to 30 people. Let's fill that out, man. Let's fill that out. And as always, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit that bell notification as well. Once again, a huge thank you to Guardian Tales for sponsoring today's video, and I'll see you guys on the battlefield later.